guys, welcome back to INSANEBRIT Gaming. I'm the INSANEBRIT, and there's a couple of stories I want to talk about, but first a quick update. Tomorrow there will be no food review. Sorry if you're disappointed in that, but there will be a PS4 unboxing anyway, because I have nothing for next week. So what I will do is I will have the PS4 unboxing this week, and then next week I'll have a food review, and then next week I'll see what happens. I'll pick something out and then try and review that. Before we get into the meat of the actual what I'm going to talk about here, in a particular article about the Xbox One achievements, Borderlands 2, Season 2, the Telltale series, as it were, apparently was a failure, and they are not talking about making a second season, so don't expect it, apparently. I have the Borderlands Telltale series on my PlayStation from the PlayStation Plus about a month or two ago, and I still have to play it, so that's one of my playthroughs that I'm intending to play, definitely, and I just haven't got around to it. I didn't want to flood my channel with too many Telltale games, plus we got Batman and stuff like that, which I definitely do want to play being a Batman fan, hence the Batman in the background. What else is there? Oh yeah, Fallout 4, the Game of the Year edition is scheduled, I think, for September coming up, so that's going to be interesting. If you're interested in Fallout 4, Game of the Year edition includes all the DLC. I think there's a Pip-Boy edition as well. I'm not too sure about that right now off the top of my head. But that is coming September, so if you're into Fallout or haven't picked it up, and you're into RPG style games, then by all means. I personally have played the game. Was it? No, it weren't 4. No. I played 3. Was on it for like 10-15 hours, walking around with nails, plates, cups, all that kind of shit. It's like a turtle, man, slow as fuck. And then like after 10 or 15 hours, I found out there was fast travel. Motherfucker. But yeah, so that pissed me the fuck off. I rage quit the game and never fucking went back to it. I know it's a good game, I know it is, but I can't play them. I can't be bothered with it. So that is coming out in September, just to give you a heads up. Yeah, so specifically these Xbox One achievements, as you know, it pops up a little boop or whatever it is. I don't know how to imitate that sound. It comes up. It's not a bad bad way of getting achievements, but I also find it kind of lost, and I really have to look deep in the game to actually see what they are, and there's a whole list, and it's not as fun as the PlayStation 4 where, it's just done so neatly and perfect, and you've got that bing. It's just the sank about it, but I absolutely love. So I always prefer PS4 over the Xbox One achievements. That's just me. But I rarely play the Xbox as much as the PS4 anyway, because I'm only on Halo and Gears. Which brings me to my point. So Xbox One's Gamer Score offers players a way to compare achievements with players, but for those who only play a small number of titles, it doesn't necessarily reflect their level of skill or the amount of time they've devoted to a game. Because of this, Microsoft has teased a significant change in the way to better showcase gamers' accomplishments. They do show the gaming accomplishments. I do see them there on my Xbox, on my dashboard or whatever it is, which is fine. But again, they're going to improve it somehow. So again, this is a quote from Mike Ubera, who's speaking at Windows Central. Vice President revealed that Microsoft is working on something that is fundamentally changes its approach to achievements. We are looking towards a bigger and more meaningful change about somebody's gaming accomplishments in history as a gamer on Xbox. He said, "We can do a lot more to reflect and let people show their gaming history and their status." He explained whether it's somebody who only plays multiplayer on Halo 5 at a professional level, so that's what, a few thousand people out of millions, but alright. Maybe they only have 2,000 gamer score. You want to be able to celebrate that person. You want to know that this person doesn't play a lot of games, but they're in the world top 10 of Halo 5. There. It's not really going to appeal to masses, because masses of us ain't in the top 10 or whatever, obviously, or even the top 100 of Halo 5 best players, but whatever. So it's like a mini celebrity thing I think they're doing, but I'm sure most of you already follow these people on Xbox, as you can do that. It's like a social media thing, like Twitter or whatever, you know what I mean? See what they're doing, or whatever. Your favorite gaming celebrities, whether it be pros or in whatever. It could be Halo, it could be Gears, whatever, Call of Duty. You could already do that, I'm sure. But whatever, they're going to better showcase it. We're also going big in the area of letting people show off and represent their gaming history and the type of gamer they are, far more than we do with GameScore. As for what form this new system will take, Uber offered Very few details. Of course, he's not going to give a drink away. He did, however, assure that it would not replace the current Gamerscore system, but simply complement it. So if you love the way they do it, it's only going to complement it, not going to rip it out and destroy it or whatever. And I always worry about that if they take things out that people love or it's known for, and it does concern me. I know it's a silly thing. Some people care about achievements, some people don't. I do, to a point. I'm not going to kill myself over them, you know what I mean? But I do enjoy them either way. Achievements aren't the only Xbox One feature getting an overhaul. A big update is in store for the console. Among the changes, it will ramp up the system's home screen to focus on speed, customization, and expression. That update is scheduled later this year. With the next console being the Xbox One X, which launches on November 7th for $500. I think it's about $400 in the UK. So yeah, so they're making some fundamental changes there to the Gamerscore. We have to see how that plays out specifically. It's always good to have an update anyway and get some kind of change in there. Speaking of which, there is a rumor. I haven't got too much details on it right now. Probably in the coming weeks we'll have more details, of at least what I can find in theory right now, which is kind of going around, is the PS4 update 5.0, whatever that is. I can't remember the exact 5 point whatever. I know it's 5 point something. And there's a rumor that one of the fundamental changes they are making is to be able to change your gamer tag, which is fantastic. We've been calling this for years. I wish they would have done it as soon as the PS4 hit, because then a lot of people would have kept their old profiles, not started again. I myself am kind of, if this is true, and it does happen, I am kind of struggling with myself to say, well, I've got 2,000 plus trophies at level 16. I started a new profile on purpose because I wanted to start fresh and have a name that I wanted, instead of my original one. My original one was garbage. I am really disappointed they've come out with this so late. I'm struggling with it. Do I change my name to my new name and then get my 2,000 trophies back? Or do I not bother and just stick with my new one, because now I've bought games on my new profile but I won't have access to my old profile? So it's kind of annoying me. I'm kind of struggling with it a little bit. I'm already like level 9 anyway on the PS4 on my new profile with 400 and something trophies, so another 2,000, I'll be right back where I started essentially. So yeah, it is what it is. So I'm struggling with that. Well guys, my next story, I have one or two more like I said, so I'm going to cut it off here and I'll see you in a second. Do you know, actually, I left out something about the Gearbox and the Borderlands series. Apparently, and I say Borderlands series because it may or may not directly be involved, though we're not going to see a Borderlands 2 Telltale games, Borderlands creators Gearbox are working on a new game, a first-person shooter, but they are not saying what it is. I think it's Project 101 or something like that. That's the code name they're giving it. So we might be getting another Borderlands game, Borderlands 3 or whatever. In theory, if I think they've got 1, 2. I think it'll be the third one. I'm unsure. I haven't played Borderlands. Or I played it once, and it made me sick. It made me actually physically sick. The FOV or whatever the hell that is. You know what I mean? The way the camera moves. I couldn't play it. It was terrible. Anyway. So they're working on a new shooter, whether it's Borderlands or another series in general, a brand new series, I don't know, but something is in the works with Gearbox. So if you like Gearbox games, you can look forward to one of their projects coming out. But again, that's been announced, like properly, officially. They're just working on that, but we haven't got no details yet. Another story I want to talk about last week, the acquirement from Sony buying Funimation. Okay, I said we should be excited and interesting, and then something occurred to me earlier today that Sony buying this isn't just Sony, it's Sony PlayStation. Duh. So I was thick as shit when I'm like, what? You know, how would I not put that together, two things together? Basically, there's a rumor going around now that Sony is trying to turn the PS4 into an anime box, as it were, or it's going to link those animes that they're going to connect with Funimation into their system, into the PS4, possibly coming up with their own new streaming service. That is a theory right now. We have Disney pulling all their shows from Netflix right now. they're currently pulling them all. Lion King, whatever, you know, Lilo and Stitch and Toy Story and all that. They're all coming off those streaming services because Disney is now launching their own streaming service, which is a very, very clever move. If you're a hardcore Disney fan or you're a parent and you want to pay £5 a month, again, I'm just quoting a price. It doesn't mean it's going to be that, but just say £5 a month, very reasonable, for hundreds and hundreds of hours of classics of Disney movies and new Disney movies coming every month or whatever to the streaming service to keep your kid quiet. As a parent or a fan, a lot of people are going to do that, and there are a lot of fanboys who still like Disney shows. I remember they got Star Wars as well. Disney now own the right to Star Wars, so if they pull out all their movies and put it directly to their Disney streaming service in one full package, it's going to be unreal. Don't get me wrong, Netflix having all the movies and stuff is great, and that puts everything in one spectrum and in one bill per month, but you can't blame any business, whether it be an anime business or an anime company like Funimation having their own streaming service like Crunchyroll, which by the way is struggling now to close the gap. They've got certain deals going on, but with the Sony acquiring Funimation and that connection with Sony being in Japan and everything, they can talk directly to the animations, getting licensing fees for longer and various stuff like that. So it's going to be very interesting. Sony also own Aniplex, apparently. I didn't know that. Again, Doi. So yeah, so those two companies might even be working together, Aniplex and Funimation, making it difficult for the likes of Crunchyroll in the long run, whereas other services, well, one or two have already shut down, and you know, that's not a good thing because companies shutting down is never a good thing, especially when it comes to anime. But the future does look bright for anime, especially going forward. But I couldn't believe that last week I did not connect with Sony PlayStation buying Funimation, or Sony buying it, and then that means stuff for us. Maybe a whole new streaming service of anime, where it will be some dubbed, some subbed. Primarily I'm hoping it be dubbed because they're connected with Funimation, but you know what I mean? More money, more backing, possibly a streaming service. I would pay for Netflix, but I would also pay for the animation one or whatever, Sony come up with a streaming service. I would have no problem doing that. As long as the animes were dubbed or good quality, I could sit there for hundreds of hours worth of anime and to check them out and then buy the ones I really, really like. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But yeah, so I can't believe I didn't connect those two things up. Alright guys, I've got a couple more stories to go. Damn, before I had one or two more to say, I have to look at them and then give you a bit of an opinion on those. Call of Duty is coming out this month, no, not this month, November, I believe it is. World War II, I'm definitely going to be picking it up. I have to play the previous one. It's been like 7 or 8 months, I still haven't played it. Ridiculous. I know, but I'll get around to it, trust me. I think that might be one of my next playthroughs. I've recently played the bonus one that you get with it, you know what I mean? But anyway, the new one has a social hub space. I think it's called Headquarters. It supports up to 48 players, and players can take part in certain activities. There is a voice proximity chat, which basically means that if you're standing next to a player and you have your headset on, you can hear what they're saying through your headset, essentially, or through the TV, I think, essentially, is what it is. I haven't used it. I remember that ages ago. They had that in SOCOM Confrontation. That was quite funny. You'd hear people talking shit about you in the background and stuff. But yeah, that is coming. The pit is often in this headquarters space where there's 48 players. People can offer to 1v1 you, and you go into the pit and you take them on. There's also a firing range as well, and from this particular hub, you can jump into zombies with a bunch of friends, or maybe even people you meet, or just jump straight into the multiplayer. But the interesting thing about this particular hub is that you can actually get prizes, don't ask me how this works, in headquarters. Basically, in headquarters you can open loot boxes that include cosmetic items. Players who watch you open something will earn prizes as well, which is very, very odd. I have no idea why they've done that. If I watch you open one of your packages or whatever it is, and you get some kind of, I don't know, badass skin for your gun or scope or whatever it is, I earn rewards. I don't know how that really, I don't understand that concept. I mean, it's always fun to see what people get, but the idea of rewarding me for it seems a little bit odd to me. I don't know what they're going to reward me. Double XP? No, I don't think that would be sufficient enough. I don't know. It's weird. You have to be very small or minute reward. I kind of think it's silly in some ways, but we have to see what it actually is. essentially, and if it's worth your time or who gives a shit. I mean, who knows? Maybe if it's worth week, people will be doing it and watching people open their stuff, and then maybe. It just die out and go, fuck it, we don't care. But then again, when I think about when you're in the zombie mode and you get a certain weapon, and that's that box, you know the name of the box. I can't remember the name of the box. It's just a box, from what I understand, and you get these random weapons generating in the zombie mode. Hopefully you get that rocket launcher or a flamethrower, whatever it is, some kind of cool-ass weapon, and they give you a fucking teddy bear or something instead. I won't lie, when I used to play zombies, I used to watch people open that box, like, come on, what you get, what you get. So I kind of get the intensity, is like for everyone in the group, in a way. But that's in zombies. That's when you need something, you know what I mean? Something decent. Hope that person gets something decent to help you out. These are just guns that people are going to be unlocking, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. I don't know. I don't understand the concept of getting rewarded for just watching somebody open a box. I think it's kind of silly, but who knows? We'll soon see. Also in this headquarters space as well, there's an timed events as well. So if you're in the headquarters area and there's an aerial attack on you, you'll be using anti-aircraft guns to take down the enemy, defending the headquarters. That's pretty cool. That's like a community thing out of nowhere. So I like where they're going with it. They're doing really well, Call of Duty. They've expanded their game in itself in so many other ways. It's almost, this one anyway, it's reminiscent of Battlefield 1 in some ways, where it's community. It's like there's one space, you do something together instead of just taking on the enemy players, and there's a lot of focus on individual play in Call of Duty. That's just the way the game is. It's always been that way. I can't speak for the maps because the maps are always small and compact, and that's Call of Duty's close combat, fast-paced action gameplay all the time. So that's the reality of it. Battlefield is big and open space and stuff like that, but with massive warplanes going on and stuff like that. So I like the fact they've implemented some kind of common enemy for the community to take on, or whatever. Or maybe it's going to be the enemy base. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know all the full details, but it's something I'm definitely going to be picking up. Remember, guys, I am going to be playing Call of Duty at some point in the next 2-3 weeks. I think I've got to jump on it before the next one comes out, because I don't want to be too far behind with that series, because I'll be playing that one as well at some point. And I'll hop around to other games and stuff. But yeah, so those are the updates just on Call of Duty in the headquarters, which I think a lot of people are going to be looking forward to anyway. Alright guys, I've got 1 or 2 more stories left. Okay guys, now last 2 stories, this is quite funny actually. The game Friday the 13th has had a lot of issues and a lot of people complaining about certain things and elements. No game is perfect. I have seen the gameplay, but I feel that it will get repetitive, and that is why predominantly I didn't pick it up, and I know what it is what it is, right? It's just one of those games. You look at it, you know what it is, it's multiplayer only, and you survive, and it's kind of interesting, that concept, but I'm sure it gets pretty boring quite quickly. I won't lie, and of course you become Jason, and you get to chase the killers, and it switches around, you're trying to survive him. So it's fun, but I don't know how long that particular thing is going to last. I think maybe about a week or 2, and then you'll get bored of it, essentially. There has been one fundamental problem that their community has been bitching about, and that is players killing other players. It's essentially become a battle royale between machetes and chainsaws and axes and whatever you can pick up in the game. As a player, you can actually kill other players right now. In the next patch, they're going to stop that to help save their community, as it were, because people are going to get pissed off and not want to go back on the game anymore, meaning less money, and the game dies a lot quicker. For everybody, it's been one of their key things that people have been bitching and complaining about, and I agree with that. So they will be releasing a patch very soon where that is changed, they said via Reddit. Also, they are allowing people to kill other people, but only if you run them over. So if you stand in front of a car and you want to get by, and essentially you can't kill that person, they said, well, that's going to block you and piss everyone off, so we're going to allow you to kill them if they're standing in front of a car, which I think is very, very fair. The last story I have is No Man's Sky, or should I say No Man is Playing. They are about to release a patch, a free patch, and it should be, 30 hours worth of gameplay. There's a lot of things in here. A new NPC guilds has been added as well. New economic trading and crafting systems have been expanded. There's also a thing called multi-tool, which allows you to edit your environment around you and sculpt the landscapes how you see fit to help you customize and enhance your base, in addition to diversity and visual quality of the planets. The multiplayer is there now with 16 players, and but there are only specs around the actual map. so it's going to make it kind of difficult to find in theory. I don't know. You can now go on co-op missions as well. They've also added new spaceships, and there's going to be space battles as well. I don't know how that's going to work out, like with Space Wars or whatever you want to call it, but it is in there. Having said that, it's not going to entice me to pick up the game. I know what the game is. I know the ending even, because I knew I was never going to play it, and I was unimpressed anyway. It's just essentially a shitter version of Fallout to a point, a lot shitter I feel, or a space version of it, and it ain't that good to be honest with you, and it's too little too late. It's been a year already, the game is dead. Probably 10 or 15 quid now you can pick it up for. If you're interested, then by all means, I think it might be worth picking up if you're interested in picking it up. Me personally, no, and I won't be playing it. Bollocks to that. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, guys, that's about it for this week's News Friday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Links are in the description below as well. I'll be having the unboxing tomorrow. What else is there to talk about? Just real quick. Oh yeah, you can donate to my PayPal if you want to as well. I'll probably do a bit of an update video about that as well, talking about their Patreon and update PayPal and stuff like that in the next week or something like that. I don't know, so stay tuned for that if you want to. I'll see what I can fit in there. Probably about a 10-minute rant about something or other. But anyway, guys, that is it for this week's Friday. I hope you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button, and the simulation will be out on Sunday, hopefully, of the next Chelsea game. Thanks for watching.